An important part of design strategy is prototyping. Prototyping is a way to explore your proposed solution in a hands-on, tangible way. They can range from a sketch on a piece of paper to a fully functional piece of machinery. In this lesson, we'll discuss the difference between high-fidelity and low-fidelity prototypes and determine what type of prototype suits a given situation. As always, we'll be exploring this in a business context. Prototypes are a scaled-down version of your product and can be fast and inexpensive to create. Prototyping is one of the most effective ways to test your potential solution in a hands-on, concrete way. It allows you to give a pilot group the opportunity to test drive your solution or solutions and to discover any issues with the design. You can then tweak your prototype in light of these results and then repeat the process in rapid cycles to really refine and improve your solution in a time-efficient manner. This involves producing an early, inexpensive and scaled-down version of the product in order to reveal any problems with the current design. Prototyping offers an opportunity to bring ideas into reality, test the usability of the idea, and to provide a pilot group the opportunity to test drive the solution. The results from these tests can be used to redefine one or more of the problems and to gain a more robust understanding of the problems. You can then tweak your prototype in light of these results, then repeat the process in rapid cycles to really refine and improve your solution in a time-efficient manner. Prototyping methods are generally divided into two categories: high-fidelity prototyping and low-fidelity prototyping. Let's have a look at the difference between the two. High-fidelity prototypes look and feel closer to the imagined finished product. For example, a high-fidelity prototype may be a 3D model with movable parts that would allow a user to interact with the prototype in the same manner as the final design. Another example might be a prototype of an app or a website that really looks and feels like the real one would, were it to actually be built or developed. There are some obvious advantages to developing a high-fidelity prototype. These include gaining accurate insights into how a user will engage with your product, as well as insights about the product's usability, look and feel. You can also see how well the product resolves your original problem definition statement. There are also some disadvantages to consider. A high-fidelity prototype can take a lot of time and money to develop. Similarly, making changes and reiterations to a high-fidelity prototype can be time-consuming and costly. And this can restrict how often and how many times you test, improve, and then iterate your prototype. User testing is also likely to use up a lot of time providing feedback on superficial characteristics of the product, rather than its usability or how the product resolves a problem, and that can be distracting. So it's important to consider these factors when thinking about building a high-fidelity prototype. Low-fidelity prototyping involves the use of basic models or examples of the product being tested. For example, a low-fidelity prototype could be an incomplete model, a storyboard, sketches, drawings, or static digital representations of a software platform or other digital platform. In essence, a low-fidelity prototype does not have moving parts, and it's much more basic. There are some obvious benefits to a low-fidelity prototype. It's quick and inexpensive to develop, which also makes changes and new iterations quick and easy to make. Low-fidelity prototypes are available to all companies and teams, regardless of your experience, technical abilities, financial situation, or stage of development. But there are also some disadvantages for a low-fidelity prototype that you need to consider. Due to their static nature, it can be hard to get a realistic understanding of how your users will interact with the product. You also can't test the usability. Finally, the lack of realism can be hard for some to overcome. This may be something people in your user testing group will struggle with. Prototyping can be a quick and effective way of bringing ideas to life. Due to the characteristics of high versus low fidelity prototypes, it should be no surprise that low fidelity prototyping is often done in the early stages of the project. High fidelity prototyping, on the other hand, is done after a few iterations once you have some initial customer feedback and you are more confident of your solution to justify investing the time and money often required. By now, you should be able to articulate the difference between a high-fidelity prototype and a low-fidelity prototype. Armed with this information, you can then determine what type of prototype suits a given situation and when you might apply each kind to different problems you're tackling within your own business.